At the coach's box. I think that's what they called, and that would be a warning.
Oh, a little smirk on his face. That might be right. He's trying to hide it a little bit.
So here comes Florida State for the first time here in the second half. Trent Forrest, the junior. MJ Walker works it over to Savoy, who's in double figures.
There's Koumadje back in the middle. We haven't seen him since about the 15-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah, we expected him to be a big presence and see him get a lot of minutes.
Oh, you just don't find 7'4", 270 hanging out on every street corner. You've got that kind of size. He played the first 4 or 5 minutes and went to the bench, and here puts the ball on the floor, loses his dribble. Now he's at no man's land, and it winds up being 3 seconds in the lane. Good defense by Tulane.
There's Barrett, brings it across midcourt for the Green Wave. Shayich over to Jong with 6 on the shot clock. They've worked the shot clock on both possessions here in the second half. That ball right through the hands of the freshman Wood. Here comes Florida State. And a big block. It'll remain Seminole basketball, but it gets this crowd excited.
Nice block by Moses Wood, trailing on the break. You'll see him come in left side of your screen. Reads it, times it nicely as he tries to go up and under. Really brought that shot right back to Wood for the block. By the way, Tulane now on the offensive end, 0 for its last 8 field goals, but that goes back to the 7:33 mark of the first half.
Looked it in. Koumadje, shot, gonna roll in. So he gets his first points of the ball game.
We'll see off the make now if Florida State drops back and stays in the zone defense, or they decide to go back man to man.
And there's a steal at midcourt. Forrest gets some pressure, laid back, lays it up and in, and gets the bucket. Biggest lead of the day for either team, and Florida State up by 8.
A lot of that first half, we saw both of these teams with a little bit of that token pressure. Now Florida State's trying to tighten the screws a little bit on this full court, 3/4 court pressure. Try to rattle Tulane a bit.
So Barrett over to John.
You're back in that zone and just stretching it out.
John gets it for Shayich. Shot is short. Offensive rebound. Barrett follow-up. It is blocked. And here comes Florida State.
Shayich had to put his shot up because the shot clock was about to hit the buzzer, and then Barrett drove his shot right into Koumadje.
Shot from the corner. It's good for 3. PJ Savoy. And it's a timeout on the floor. So Florida State comes out sharp here in this second half. Florida State with a 7-0 run to start the half, and they lead it by 11.
Inferior phone detected.
Ugh, the screen.
You know, Sprint has the awesome new iPhone XR.
Ooh, let's take a picture.
It has an amazing liquid retina display.
It's here. Switch to the Sprint network and we'll give you the iPhone XR to use for $0 per month with eligible trade-in.
I can't wait for my retirement. Smiling on beaches, on bikes, on boats, on bikes on beaches, pointing at things. My barely wrinkled wife will tousle my barely receding hair and playfully jump on my back. Because this retirement is going to be the freaking fountain of youth.
Von Miller's wanted to build a chicken coop here for months. Facilities said no, of course, but they did let him build a bird cage.
So majestic, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they're not chickens, but they're sure fun to watch.
Don't worry. I snuck one in. Wait, where'd he go?
Over there. Chicken farming's a tough business. I don't know how Vaughn does it.
Florida State with a 7-0 run to start this second half has extended the lead all the way out to 11 at the moment. Tulane over its first 4 here in the second half and have turned the ball over 14 times for the ball game, and they're going to get Jordan Cornish back into this contest.
Yeah, they're going to have to here. That's how fast this can turn. We talked about all those missed opportunities. Now you go back and look at that 7:33 when you were 0 for 6 for field goals, yet it was still just a 3 or 4 point game, and what you left at the free throw line. You come out to start this half. Florida State goes 3 for 4 for the half. You're 0 for 4. Now you have to call another timeout because you can't get the ball inbounds.
So some mistakes here by the Green Wave. Costly timeout right there. They couldn't even inbound the ball. They haven't scored. You said 7:33 left in the first half. You're already almost 3 minutes into this. That would mean we're coming up on the 10 minutes without scoring.
Yeah, what was amazing is over that 7:33 in the first half that they only got 6 field goals up on the glass. And that tells you how they were struggling to find any sort of semblance of offense to get anything going. And then you come out here and you've gone 0 for 4. So now you're 0 for 10 in that span. So basically 1 shot per minute, what you're closing in on, since you last had a field goal. But Florida State turns it on. They're 3 for 4. And of those 3 they've started this half, one of them was a 3-pointer. And boom, next thing you know, now it's a double-digit deficit.
Well, we knew that without the point guard, Ray Ona Embo, this is an explosive Florida State team that Coach Dunleavy would try to, shorten the game, give Florida State less possessions. And he's been able to do that, but you still got to make shots. Daniels, they need a big possession here. Caleb Daniels, jumper, comes up short. Here comes the Seminoles running it up the floor. Forrest looks underneath now for Terrence Mann. They're going to kick it back out. Savoy with 9 points with the basketball. Mann the only one in double digits. He takes the shot, no good, and wow. An offensive rebound, and Kamaji slams it home.
Yeah, and Shea, it fell off of Kamaji because you're not worried about him up high. And when he went down and got that first shot to go, the ball fell right into the hands of Kamaji. There it is, finally a field goal for Tulane.
Took over 11 minutes.
Wow.
Finally break the drought. So Savoy gets it off here. Terrence Mann, shot no good. Jong with the rebound, off to Cornish. And here comes the Green Wave, racing it up the floor. Shot no good. But a Florida State foul.
Yeah, that foul I think is going to be called on Kamaji on the follow-up. Wound up pushing Moses Wood. You see him giving a thumbs up. They talked about him. He's talking over to Leonard Hamilton at the bench. There you see the bench right there. He's trying to follow up that miss. He just used his big limb to push Wood out of the way. It's tough to do, but when you're so lanky and long like that, to him it might be nothing. To anybody else, a couple of feet.
So Kamaji heads to the bench. Corner set to inbound it here for the Green Wave. Long in for Wood.
Cornish needs a good power drive to the basket. Just a good layup to get some confidence going and get that rhythm going.
Been in foul trouble all game. Long pass for Wood. Sails high, and it looks like it's going to be Florida State basketball, and we've got a timeout on the floor. So Florida State jumped out in front here, and they lead it by 11, 15:47 to go. 18:47 to go, and it will be Tulane basketball. There was a contact there. I wasn't sure which way they pointed, but it is Green Wave basketball here coming out of the timeout. Cornish set to inbound it. Cornish with just 2 points here today. Shayich with 17 and Jong with 9 leading the way for the Green Wave. Meanwhile, 10 for Mann and 9 for Savoy. Top scorers for Florida State. Cornish over to Caleb Daniels.
Tulane has to spread it out just a little more and try to find those driving lanes with Florida State playing this spread zone defense.
2 on the shot clock, and Jong's shot is short. And it will be a shot clock violation. So it doesn't matter who tipped it out of bounds because the clock expired and he didn't hit anything.
Exactly right.
So here's Savoy. Dishes it off here to Trent Forrest. And Florida State offense has had a little bit more swagger here in the second half. Drives to the paint, no good. Ball got knocked out of bounds and heads Tulane way. Cabangali tipping it over the glass on the rebound.
Again now, this is where Tulane has to try to start crawling back into it. Florida State hit you with a flurry to start this half. You can't make it all up at once, but you can't come down and keep having empty possessions.
Tulane has hit 4 threes today as Cornish has it taken away. And here comes FSU back the other way, and Trent Forrest lays it up and in.
Cornish thought he saw that lane, to get to the basket. The quick hands by the Seminoles led to the steal and the break on the other end.
Jong, baseline drive, sends it home. The freshman is into double figures.
And we saw him try to do that in the first half in front of the Seminole bench when he got fouled and sent to the free throw line, and that's why he fouled him. Great elevation by Jong. Left side baseline to throw that down.
Drives to the paint, and it's up and good. Cabangali gets the bucket to fall. He's got 9. Cornish to Wood, back to Shayich. 14 to go. Cornish. We talked about how Cornish needs to get into it. Caleb Daniels has not scored in this ball game either for Tulane. Another one of their guys you would expect to score.
Shot 43% last year and averaged about 6.5 a game. Cabangali there called for the offensive foul. Once again, not holding position in the screen. Body contact, so here's another chance for Tulane now as Florida State goes empty to come down and have a positive offensive possession. And right now, that's what they need. You know, they started this first 5 or 6 minutes of the game when these two teams, remember they got that hot streak, everybody was scoring. Tulane can't put anything together. They need to put one, and they got to go get another. You got that big dunk by Kevin Jong just a moment ago. Now go get another offensive possession, put them back to back so you can start to build a little confidence.
A couple of substitutions made. Polite comes into the ball game for Florida State. Savoy heads back to the bench. Nichols also coming into the contest. Jong leading both teams with 6 rebounds in this ball game. So the freshman really played well. Here's the shot by Cornish. No good. Rebound pulled down by Forrest.
Team playing a zone defense like that, you don't want to just make one pass out on the wing and then launch a 23-footer. Look out.
Wow. Terrence Mann. And a dozen against the Green Wave a year ago. Mann today has got 12. Moses Wood and contact.
Wood did a heck of a job to even get that, turn it into a shot and get it up off the glass and go to the free throw line without contact. Terrence Mann able to find the empty lane. Watch here. See him draw the contact and just puts it way out in his right hand and tries to scoop it up off the backboard to give himself an opportunity. Boy, on the other end, Terrence Mann found that opening. He was so fast to elevate. No chance for any help defense to come stop that.
Shot. Moses Wood Little long. No good. And the Tulane free throw, they've missed 6 of them so far in this ballgame. 11 for 17 from the charity stripe.
It all starts to add up after a while. These empty possessions, the turnovers, the long drought where you couldn't get anything to fall for you. Your first game of the year, and you're hosting a top 20 team in your place as he misses both of them. I'm not saying you have to play perfect, because they certainly did in the first half and kept it to a 4-point game, but you can't keep gift wrapping these opportunities to the Seminoles. They're just too good.
Kabengele going for that rebound, and he kept fighting for it, and eventually ended up getting out of bounds with it, so it goes back to Tulane.
I would like to see some of that family action with Kabengele. When they've got the family over for, holiday dinner. Say, hey, Uncle Dikembe. Dikembe Mutombo, his uncle. How'd you like to see it? Let's go on the driveway and shoot a little bit. Teach me how to play on the block.
Kabengele 6 for 10. Probably looks like a little kid next to Dikembe.
I bet he got a finger swagger type of too. Like, oh, no, not in my house. No, sir.
54-39. Cornish drives, and the shot is good.
See, that's what he needs. He needs another one of those now to try to get his game going.
Tulane 3 for 13 shooting here in this second half. And a Florida State turnover.
And so here's your chance now. So you finally get Cornish with a little something going, a nice power drive. You heard him yell for the and one. Official looked at him and said no, his hands were straight up. But he gets one layup off the glass. Now you go down and get a turnover by the Seminoles. Can you turn this turnover maybe into 2 more points, maybe 3? Try to put something together back-to-back for Tulane and start to crawl back into this thing.
Cornish into the corner. Wood. See the shot there by Crabtree, and it's good. Carter Crabtree with a 2-pointer. He's got 4.
Threw that ball fake and got Anthony Polite to go flying right by. Took one dribble in. Nice open jumper.
Pickles. Kabengele jumper, and it's a little long, no good. Rebound, and going to go Florida State. So the Seminoles have built out an 11-point advantage. The Seminoles watching some big-time action from the freshman, John. And Terrence Mann converts. Seminoles by 11.
Your team, your card. Get yours at discover.com/NHL.
Hosting a game day party isn't for the weak of heart. You gotta be tough. And you gotta be a little cute. Maytag, what's inside matters.
MVP time for year 16, never know how long it goes.
No, Blazers, Lakers, Wednesday on ESPN.
The final chapter of the critically acclaimed television event.
It's this monumental gathering of people that all share a love of the game of basketball.
Back here in New Orleans, Moses Wood kicks it off to Crabtree, hits it from the corner. Big bucket for Tulane trying to get back into this ball game. They shot over 50% in the first half. Here in the second half, it's been not nearly as good. 4 for their first 11.
Yeah, and it was a nice ball fake there when they set up that offense. A little pass to the corner. Ball fake gets the defender to fly right by. You can't get it all at once, but it's a nice settled offense. That's all you need to do. Get that zone defense moving a little bit if you're Tulane. Find the opening. Take advantage of it when you get it. That time it was a nice jump shot.
You're down by 11. Sean bringing it across midcourt. You got plenty of time, under 12 to go. Wood picks it up. Hornets driving, and it's going to be blocked, and here comes the Seminoles. Trent Forrest, lead pass, now kicks it back. Savoy from downtown hits it. He's into double figures, got a dozen.
What a great bailout by the Seminoles when it looks like that your chance at a fast break layup is going to come a turnover. You save it, turn around, you kick it back out to Savoy, who drains a three.
Crabtree off to Wood, and contact along the baseline.
Back and take another look as the Seminoles get it deep. Here comes your layup opportunity, but you miss it, so you kick it back out. Oh, who's waiting for you? Savoy. And you saw right there at the end of your picture, that was Jordan Cornish, who came running in late. Why? He's the one that took it back on the other end, hit the ground when he was hoping to draw a foul, and instead was late on defense.
97 career three-pointers for Savoy. John nearly turned it over, and look at that. Perfect move with the ball movement, and he drives into the paint and gets himself a bucket.
How about that extension right past Cavangeli, who's over there in the paint. Extends around him and gets it up off the glass.
12-point ball game. Savoy. And there's contact out on the wing.
Back and take another look at it. You see him lose his defender, then look at the reach, stretches out. Yeah, Kevin Jong just saying, hey, I'm 6'9", I've got a nice reach too. Stretches it around Cavangeli and one hands it off the glass.
So Polite sets to inbound it for Forrest. Dribbles around and back at top of the key. Under 10 on the shot clock. Terrence Mann drives. Looked like the shot was going to be blocked. Somehow or another, maintained possession and gets the bucket to go.
Avoided getting a travel call because he was able to get Shayic to get his hands on that ball and avoided being able to travel because of the deflection.
Shayic back to Wood. 14-point ball game. Cornish over to Jong. A shot from outside. Wow, what a debut.
Kevin Jong wanted to show everybody, including the 17th ranked Seminoles, why he's been named the best Chinese hoops prospect in America in 2018.
Shot from the corner, no good. Crabtree was wide open. They're going to give it off to Jong, and he lays it up and in. He's got 18 points here today. This is the freshman making his debut. Colin Slater was the last Tulane freshman to start. A couple of years ago, he had 17 in his debut.
Jong coming in with all of the accolades and the expectations. We mentioned one of 3 Chinese players even playing in the NCAA, but this man right here was the one tabbed as the best Chinese prospect in America. We've seen the hops on the dunk. We've seen the range with the three-pointer. How about the Euro step up and in off the glass? We've seen a couple of defensive efforts as well with the block. So far, Kevin Jong living up to all the expectations for the freshman, making his debut here in New Orleans.
Very impressive what we've seen. Tulane on a 7-2 run, all propelled here from the freshman.
Did it with the layup, did it with the high-flying dunk on the baseline, and then that pure three-pointer. And I really liked after he hit the big shot. I don't think you saw it on camera, but he comes back down the floor. Remember, we're talking about a freshman here. Runs back down the floor, and Shayic was already back down there and looked at him and he said, hey. And Jong looked at him and he just went, nice job. Just calling him a little veteran player, telling him, hey, great job. You're doing well. It's exactly what we needed from you. And then next possession, he goes down and gets that layup.
Well, Kevin Jong on a 7-2 run. This is a guy that practiced with the Chinese national team this summer. He's been over here in the United States since he was 13 years old. So he's accustomed to the United States, but man, he's still a freshman.
Well, look, you know, in the summer, there's so many different tournaments. You have international tournaments and all these different exhibitions. Well, Kevin Jong was selected as one of the 12-man team of the select team. Now, they play this tournament every year, I believe up in Portland area. And he was one of the 12 on that select team that beat the USA team in that summit tournament in the Northwest. So his talents have certainly been recognized on the international level, and he's wanting to let everybody in the American and elsewhere to know right now that talent's right here in New Orleans.
There's the inbounds to Savoy. Just like that, Florida State's lead is back to single digits, and man, do they have a quick answer. Cavangeli slams it in.
Well, All you have to do is find the weakness in that defense. Florida State found a seam. You draw 2 players towards the ball, find the trailer, which they did, and it leads to an easy 2.
Cornish to Shea Hitch. 9:13 to go. Shot from the outside, and a big 3.
He's 4 or 5 now from deep. Give him 21 on the game.
Wow, this is a freshman that's opening some eyes here tonight in New Orleans. Forrest. Cavengale using that size, works his way, and he's going to get fouled. Shea Hitch. Looks like it's going to be his second.
Take another look at it from this angle. Shea Hitch on the spin move. You see him thinking it was all ball, but you go back to the other end. Cross-court pass. Jong doesn't have a hand in his face, and he launches it from the left wing, feeling confident. 8 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 5 from deep. He also has 6 rebounds now with 21 points to lead all scorers.
So here's Cavengale, who will go to the free throw line. Sophomore from Canada. Converts. Caleb Daniels coming in here for the Green Wave, and he'll replace Moses.
Boy, you talked about this earlier, and you're right on it too. You look at Caleb Daniels, a returning player, averaged 6.5 last year. He's 0 for 4 in the game. 3 of his 4 field goal attempts have come from deep, so he hasn't gotten anything going. Cornish has struggled, just 2 of 6 battling those fouls. Tulane's got to be thinking, boy, just only what if, right?
What if they can get those guys to step up? Jong, by the way, with a rebound there, prove that he can do it all. Daniels back over to Cornish. Cornish drives, shot good, and 1.
I mentioned it earlier, say it again. For a guy who has all the experience but is not playing well, how do you get into the flow? Don't launch it from 3. Get a little confidence going to the basket. Watch the jump step, takes it right into the lane. And Cavengale, not a very good effort as he just goes airborne and leans into him with the body contact. Sorry, Jordan Cornish, 6'6", 225. Yeah, he can flex. He took that muscle right at him and drew the contact.
Tulane on a 12-5 run here. Shea Hitch will get a breather. Blake Paul coming back in off the bench.
See, you like the mentality by Cornish too, realizing he doesn't need to launch the 3. Why? Because the hot hand right now from the 3 is not him. We all know who it is. It's Jong from the outside. So what does he do? Puts it on the floor, attacks the basket, challenges the defense, gets it, and what do you know now? It's back to a 2-possession game as the Green Wave will crawl back in this thing.
13-5 run for Tulane. MJ Walker drives, kicks it out. Man. Savoy looks underneath for Cavengale, slams it in.
Boy, that's just great ball movement by Florida State. They had Tulane a man down 3 passes ago and kept swinging the ball around the outside, making that Green Wave defense move and stretch, and then they went right down the lane for the easy 2.
They build their lead back up to 8. Daniels. Here's Jong. Picked up his dribble, now gives it over to Caleb Daniels. Daniels drives it in, gives it to Crabtree from the corner, no good. Rebound, Terrence Mann. Drives it. And we've got contact and a foul against Tulane. So Florida State go ahead to the free throw line. So the Green Wave got themselves back into the ball game, but it is Kamaji slamming it in. Seminoles by 8.
Your team, your card. Get yours at discover.com/NHL.
When the game's over and you're exhausted from woo-hooing, there'll be greasy platters to grapple with, crusty bowls to do battle with, and filthy forks from friends afraid of finger food. But you can do this. You'll have the power of Maytag on your team. Now get out there and host your heart out. Maytag. I'll see you on the other side. Maytag. What's inside matters.
Giants Niners tomorrow at 8:15 on ESPN.
7:24 to go in this one. Florida State had extended its lead out to 15. Tulane has gotten right back into this ball game, finds themselves trailing here by 8. 7:24 remaining here in the contest as Savoy will head to the free throw line.
We knew Florida State would want to pick up the pace a little bit with the number of guards they have on the floor, the tempo they like to play. Florida State outscoring Tulane on fast break points 17-7. One of the other big stats, Tim, as you start to look into these numbers here as this game has rolled on, 14 second chance points for Florida State. We talked about the size, and not just the 7'4" big man. We talked about how they bring their size to the basket at the top of the broadcast. 14-1 in terms of second chance points. They have just been relentless in getting to the glass off those misses and getting opportunities to put it back in.
So Savoy converts, pushes it up to a 10-point ball game, and now a near steal will remain Tulane ball. Pretty aggressive play there by Terrence Mann, the senior.
You mentioned how good Florida State is at forcing turnovers. Now they force a side out of bounds now where you can't move.
Get it in here for Paul, who gives it right back to Cornish. Jordan Cornish trying to post up, gets it over to Daniels. On the wing. Loose ball gets knocked away, and Florida State comes away with it. Terrence Mann dishes it off for Forrest. Ball went out of bounds.
That's all you can do for Caleb Daniels is make that foul. It's a 2-on-1. Make him earn it at the free throw line. Cornish just gets caught up. Mike Dunleavy mentioned this to us before the ball game. We had a chance to talk to him for a couple of minutes. He said, we can't get caught in the mess, and he called the mess their size in the middle, trying to drive right into it, and that time you saw him, there wasn't a lane there. Cornish was trying to force something down a lane that did not have the opportunity. It gets the turnover. And Daniels was forced to make the foul on Forrest and make him go earn it at the line instead of giving him the easy 2 on the 2-on-1 break.
So Forrest converts. 7 points on the evening for the junior. Hit 13 points, 5 assists in the win over Florida. So he hits both. Florida State building that lead back up to 12. The floor. Daniels. Shot. Just can't buy a bucket.
A lot of body contact with the official that time. Said that Kumaji was up straight up as he has the right to go vertical. What composure by Florida State. After Jong had that 7-point personal run and Tulane cut the deficit to 6. Florida State kept its composure, no panic, picked up their intensity, and just like that, they've opened it up again to a 14-point lead.
Yeah, Terrence Mann has got 16 in the ballgame. Shea hit from outside. Not going to go. Rebound pulled down by Mann.
Shea hit is still sitting on 17 points. That's what he had at the half.
Lobs it in there. Couldn't get it to go for Christy Kumaji.
But you see how that can be a weapon for Florida State. He took 4 dribbles away from the screen that Kumaji set just to let him have enough time to roll down the lane and just threw it up there for the dunk opportunity. It's that easy with him. When you get the defense to commit to the ball, you literally just throw it up towards the box on the backboard. He's going to go get it.
Up by 14, and they're on a 10-0 run, Florida State.
Mike Dunleavy's going to want to call timeout or see if he's going to let his team try to work his way out of this.
Has just 1 timeout remaining as Crabtree hits that one.
Yeah, seeing that's one thing I didn't notice. One timeout, I guess you just wait for the next media timeout and try to coach them as best you can while the action is going.
Forrest works it over here to M.J. Walker. Walker drives, ball got knocked away. Who touched it last? Now the officials.
We'll get a good look at it here from the camera under the basket.
He said it was off Tulane.
Looked like that deflection might have come off M.J. Walker's head. Seminoles will take it. They're not going to ask for another look. 6 seconds on the shot clock, so Florida State has to be ready for that. So does the Tulane defense. No one got to get it up quick.
Gets it in. Has an open look man with the bucket.
And he just ran a little curl route all the way around Kumaji's screen. Went down the baseline, went around the big fella, back down the lane, and the pass went right to him at the rim.
Well-designed play there for Florida State. Tulane running out of time. Down by 15, 4.5 to play. Daniels, baseline, shot not gonna go. Was it tipped back? Not gonna fall. Terrence Mann pushes it out, and the ball goes out of bounds off the green wave.
Good hustle by Cornish, even though that alley-oop opportunity to try to go back to Mann just a little too far to the outside on that pass. Tough shot on the other end for Tulane, trying to go up and under. Too much hang time, and just couldn't get the ball. Once he put himself in a bad position, Tulane wasn't able to take advantage of it.
Bounds for Kumaji. Back atop for Savoy. Walker. Shot rims in and out. Fight for the loose ball, and another offensive rebound here for Florida State. Shot from way outside. Savoy couldn't get it to go, but another offensive rebound.
And you saw how Kumaji just used his size. So first of all, Terrence Mann comes running from the far left corner all the way down the baseline to get the first offensive rebound. And then watch this, look at the reach. Shayich has pretty good position. Kumaji just literally reaches all the way over him to pull that offensive rebound down into his possession, and they draw the foul.
So here's Nichols set to inbound it. Fresh shot clock again. They've taken 2 shots on this possession, got 2 offensive rebounds. Shot there by Kumaji, no good, and Tulane finally comes away with it. Tulane won for its last 6. Make it 7 as Shayich misses. Daniels follows up, and Caleb Daniels, under 4 minutes to go, gets his first basket of the day.
First basket for Daniels. Nice job on that offensive rebound by Moses Wood to tap it out and get it right to him.
And we've got contact and a Tulane foul. So we got a timeout. Florida State up by 13, leading the Green Wave 74-61.
Your team, your card. Get yours at discover.com/NHL.
When the game's over and you're exhausted from woo-hooing, there'll be greasy platters to grapple with, crusty bowls to do battle with, and filthy forks from friends afraid of finger food. But you can do this. You'll have the power of Maytag on your team. Now get out there and host your heart out. Maytag will see you on the other side.
Maytag, what's inside matters.
FLA, MVP times 4. Year 16, never know how long it goes.
No. Blazers, Lakers, Wednesday on ESPN.
Hey, I'm going to lunch. You want some lunch?
Terrence Mann is 18. He's one of 4 Florida State Seminoles into double figures. Tulane has a pair of players, Jong and Shayich, but it's crazy. Shayich had 17 first-half points, has not scored here in the second half.
Yeah, and Tulane's offense just hasn't gone through him like it was doing in the first half. We've certainly seen Kevin Jong come alive in the second half and put on quite a performance, but Shayich just has not been a presence on Tulane's offensive end. And in the worst time after making a run for Tulane to cut the lead down to 6 and give themselves a chance and had the crowd all in it, Tulane has gone 1 for its last 7 from the floor, while the Seminoles have been back extending their lead again.
Forrest to Terrence Mann. Good move to the goal, and Mann gets a bucket. He's got 18.
Yeah, he's just so calm handling the ball. Little wheel route for Florida State, runs a little motion for him to find the lane down the middle. No help side defense, just attacks the rim once again.
Under 3 to play in the ball game. Jong, 15-footer, gets it to fall. Huge bucket for Jong. He needed that. Still, they got an uphill battle here with 2:40 to play. Florida State's going to work some clock here as they know time is on their side as Trent Forrest dribbling it around midcourt to get it under 10 on the shot clock. Drives it, and now he turns it over.
Well, once Florida State did decide to start attacking the glass, it was good defense by Tulane to hold the position. The bad news for the Green Wave to do that is that they almost took every second off the shot clock to get that done.
Yeah, that shot clock was getting down to the last few numbers. Here's Moses Wood bringing it up the floor. Cornish. Shot from the outside, and it is good. Well, it's taken him a while, but a big bucket there for Caleb Daniels to make it a 10-point ball game.
Played off the baseline game, went far corner, came back off a screen right in front of his own bench, got the pass, able to turn and hit the clear shot.
Savoy. Shot. No good, but contact and a foul.
Send Savoy to the line for 1-and-1. He said they got the trip before he tried to get that shot up off the glass.
Seminoles up by 10, minute 46 to go. At the free throw line is P.J. Savoy.
Don't know that he'll get these tonight, but with 2 more three-pointers, Savoy will become the 22nd player to reach 100 made three-pointers for his Florida State career.
Incredible. And now with the rebound, foul against Florida State.
Oh, that'll be an opportunity for Tulane to get some points without the clock moving. Kevin Jong's going to go to the line as they got the foul over Jong's back.
So it's a 10-point ball game here with a minute 46 to go. Tulane playing its first game of the season. Florida State playing its second contest. Both teams missing key players. For Tulane, Rayona Embo resumed practice late last week. Has not played today. Will miss a few more games. Meanwhile, one of the top players for Florida State, Phil Kofer, averaged nearly 13 points a ball game last year. No real timeline on him yet. Still in a boot. Expected to be out till at least mid-December. They're working on the clock. Find out how much time is remaining in this ball game.
And it's not 14.5.
No, that's not the correct time. It's going to be about 1:45 left. Not 14. All of a sudden, that play took a minute off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the case. Tulane's got an uphill battle, but it's not as bad as 14 and a half seconds to go. So John will go to the line. He has 23 tonight. Converts. (76-67).
13 of 21 now for the line from Tulane. 13 of 22.
Loose ball coming away with it.
Boy, you know you don't want to harp on it now. 13 to 22. You left 9 opportunities at the line. It's a 9-point game. I'm not saying that's the only stat, but boy, that's a big one.
It's a big one when it's a free shot. You know, you don't think you're going to go perfect every night, but you think your numbers are going to be better than that.
No, but even in the first half, when you couldn't buy a field goal for almost 8 minutes, at least hit a couple of free throws and they were struggling.
Jay Walker from way outside as the shot clock was expiring. Not only made contact, but another offensive rebound.
Yeah, it's 13 or 14 offensive rebounds already for Florida State. As we told you, the second chance points, they're a plus 11 in second chance points. They've just done such a good job following and attacking the rim.
Drives to the goal and contact, and he'll go to the stripe.
See, in these points, even if he only hits 1 at the free throw line, these will be points that will come from second chance opportunities because they're going to battle that offensive rebound. And for Tulane, it's double whammy because it's just eating more time off the clock.
So Terrence Mann will go to the free throw stripe here. Been a pretty impressive night for Mann, the senior. He's got 20 points. And he misses a free throw.
Yeah, this is now the 10th time in his career with 9 or more rebounds. He did that in their first game in that 21-point beating of Florida when they opened up the season. He had 9 points and 9 rebounds. And he just gave his point total, and again he has 10 rebounds coming off this last possession. Another good night for Mann.
Free throw by Mann, it is good. Ten-point ball game, under a minute to play. So Chong works it around, shot is short, but some contact underneath for Shea Hitch and MJ Walker. Officials.
The call's going to be on MJ Walker. I'm wondering if they're going to, the way they're talking about it, I think they might take a look at it to see if this is more than just a regular foul. I didn't see it. I was watching the shot go up. He must have had an arm flail or pop Sahich in the face to see if it has to be more than just a common foul, which is why they sent both teams to the side. They're going to go take a look at it.
You saw Leonard Hamilton getting an explanation from the officials. They'll take a look at it, see what we missed.
Let's take a look and see. It's going to be the left side of your screen for sure. There it is right there. Here's another look and see from the bottom. Oh, you see he's got his left arm cupped around his arm. So he's got his left arm around Sahich's right arm. You can see because he's got that arm with the sleeve. You see right there. Kind of pulling his arm back. He's also using his right arm for leverage on the hip. I certainly don't see that as being flagrant. I just see it as being a really
foul,
just a bad foul.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not like he pulled his arm down like a wrestling move and was trying to hurt him.
Right.
He just had him wrapped around. MJ Walker, 6'5" sophomore out of Jonesboro, Georgia. He had 7 points last year in basketball, but you know, coming out of high school, he had the opportunity to go play football. He had 3 football scholarship offers to Clemson, Miami, and Michigan. Wow. It's a handful of big programs to play some football, and decided to go in the hardwood and play basketball for the Seminoles.
So the officials sort things out. We'll see what they call here. We would anticipate just being the regular foul. Shea Hitch.
I think they called him
It
flagrant.
is flagrant foul. So it's a
So flagrant, so they call, you heard the official come over and tell us, and we appreciate that, a hook and clamp play. So when we saw that arm over the shoulder, that's what they're talking. So that's going to be more of a flagrant, just a regular foul because of the way they held him down. So that's going to be 2 shots and then the ball for Tulane.
Shea hits his first points of this second half. Hits the free throw.
You know, we had a couple of great looks at it with the replays. Great job by the camera crew to get that where you can see that arm with that black sleeve really gave it away too, how he clamped him all the way down and had it over his shoulder and pinned it back.
So Tulane will convert on a couple of free throws. And now we'll have possession.
Look, a quick three-pointer here. You get a nice pass on an inbound play and a three-pointer, and all of a sudden we got a little 5-point game here. Tulane's not out of it just yet. See what they can do with this inbound. See if they can get a quick shot.
Set to inbound it. Jordan Cornish. Puts it in for Jong. Jong drives. Now step back. Shot no good. Seminoles with the rebound. It's Trent Forrest. And you got a foul. Is only 37 seconds remaining. If you let them run the clock down, that wouldn't leave much time. So they'll head to the free throw line. So Forrest heads to the stripe for Florida State. Forrest at this free throw line here, the junior. Converts the front end of the 1-and-1.
He was the leader of the steal patrol tonight for Florida State. 8 steals. He has 3 of them. Does Trent Forrest. That's 13 straight games now for Forrest, dating back to last year with the run for the Seminoles, and he has at least 1 steal. He has 3 of the 8 tonight for Florida State.
30 seconds to go. Cornish with the basketball. Finds Jong on the wing. Lobs it cross court for Shea Hitch. And too much on it, and it sails out of bounds.
Just good defensive pressure. Florida State knows Tulane needs that quick shot. Just couldn't give the Green Wave an opening to see the rim.
10-point ball game. Florida State leading it 79-69. Tulane will go for the steal here. They don't get it, and the quick foul to Trent Forrest. Well, Forrest heads back to the free throw line.
Hamilton about to register win number 307.
Been to the NCAA tournament 6 of the last 10 seasons. They are ranked 17th in the nation. Looking to improve to 2-0 on the year.
Amazingly, this is their one true non-conference road game all year. Second game of the season. But you know what that does? It speaks highly to what Leonard Hamilton has done now with this program, because now they're being invited to all these tournaments, these showcase events. You know, they'll be playing in the Advocare tournament down in Orlando. LSU from up the road in Baton Rouge, they'll be at that tournament as well. You had the big game against Florida to open the season in Tallahassee, but they get invited now to more of these invitational showcase type games instead of playing these true road games. And speaks highly to what Leonard Hamilton has done with the program there in Tallahassee.
Now Terrence Mann will dribble it out, and the Seminoles are going to improve their season to 2-0. But the Tulane Green Wave here in their opening game of the season, you know, this was a Florida State team that made it to the Elite Eight. I think they impressed here at times tonight with some of their young freshmen.
Oh, I think beyond times tonight. They gave them a lot. Look, as we mentioned, goes to a lot of those missed opportunities that Tulane saw go by the wayside in that 7:30 span there in the first half. And just when it looks like you're about to get blown out of your own gym, you make a run, you cut the deficit down to 6. They just didn't have enough. But Tulane's missing big player in Ona Embo, who wasn't able to play, and it'll be a few weeks before he's back. You've got the young players, some of them hitting the stage big time, like Kevin Jong. It was a great effort for Tulane. You don't want to take moral victories. It's a tough loss, but to come out in your first game against number 17 and fight them like that is a great effort for Tulane in game 1.
Too many turnovers and offensive rebounds were huge. For Victor Howe, I'm Tim Grubb saying so long from Devlin Fieldhouse in New Orleans. Our final score tonight. The Florida State Seminoles improved to 2-0. They defeat Tulane 80-69. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of the American Athletic Conference and ESPN. Good night, everybody.
This season, cricket's taking